I've done such a good job, I can't even see where the glue line is. Ha! Let me mark the back of that. There it is, right there. Okay, let's check the straightness of this guy. Okay. We're good. We are spot on. Straight as an arrow, straight as a dog's hind leg. Terry, straight as a dog's hind leg. There's a little bit of play there. I've got to work on that. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we're still a little bit wonky on this side. Needs a little bit more. Just a touch. Just get that dovetail Ving in a bit more aggressively, pulling that neck in. That's the other thing you'll find. When you do have that V coming in, that dovetail, it does, as you go down the shaft, down the mortise, it'll pull that neck towards the body even tighter. Yes, it does, Rage. The fretboard does get glued to the body. Absolutely. That's why we've got to be millimeter perfect so that we can get the right tension after the glue without it pulling. The strings will pull the body up a little bit naturally under tension, but you want to make sure that you've got the fretboard down there to spread that tension over the strings so that it's not on one part. You want this width here to spread that tension that way across the face of the hole where the hole is. Now it is braced underneath there. There's a little triangular brace pattern under that hole, that sound hole. That'll firm up the edges where you've removed wood. But of course you want to spread that tension, and contact is the best way to do that. We can't afford to have a hair. If there's daylight between this fretboard and the top, when I look at it before I glue it in, it's not good enough. So that's why I'm chipping away at those inner corners to get it to pull down and close any gaps. Okay, this side looks pretty good. Test fit. See, a test fit doesn't cost us anything. We can do several of them in one go without pressing. I've just dropped my mic. Pick that up. These clips aren't the best. They're not too tight, but anyway. So, let's just keep chipping away at it, literally slowly, slowly, to get it to fit perfectly. We don't want... That's pretty good. Not too bad. This side's good too. Daylight, ever so slightly. Okay, what does that mean? It means I've got to go deeper. Room there. Okay, I see what's going on. All right. Yep, I know what's going on. The top of this tenon needs a shave. To get it to drop in flatter. I'm just going to shave a little bit of this guy away. Better. This side needs the same treatment. Fit again. Tweak as we go is the name of the game. Oh, now we're cooking. Spot on. No daylight. That's pretty good. What I need to check is getting the straight edge, checking that fretboard. Given that you need to ensure there's relief there, let's put this guy on. Okay, we got a bit of relief there. That's not bad. When that gets glued down, we're laughing, it's dead straight. So that's perfect, guys and girls. We're good to go. We're good to go. Okay. Okay. So that's ready. Now we need to finish the body. One thing I need to do is use a little bit of filler, rosewood coloured. There's a gap where I've sanded some of that area off, and I just need to colour it and sand that flush and smooth. Of course, when the time comes, so that there's continuity under that neck. There's just a little gap where you can see a little bit of wood where I've worn away the where I flattened that wood there. Willie won't go. What is happening, Willie? But I had to help my kid out. Excuse me if you're already answered. Okay, I also didn't see the truss rod come through the body. Okay, so the truss rod. Okay, we're using it conventionally, not with the bolt at this end. There it is there. Okay, So we're turning it at this end to straighten it if we need to. I've cut this slot here, which accommodates that shape. That's the jigsaw for that. So that fits into the body, underneath there, into that gap, and up against the sides. There's a little block of wood in there. In other words, the block for the neck block, and that supports the truss rod and holds it in place so that it doesn't wobble that way, and you can turn it from this end. I hope that answers it. Hey, what's happening, Willie? Are you well? So that's your answer there. So we don't use the truss rod from the inside here as some have it set up to do. I've gone for one at this end. That neck is in, and that is bloody beaut, if I do say so myself. I'm happy with that. So let's get this guy sanded and oiled so we can move on to bigger and better things. Well, we're not really moving on to bigger and better things, but we're moving on to other things. We're going to do some sanding and some finishing now. So I've already sanded this top with 400. Leave the bridge material there. I really should trim that away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a scalpel, and I'm going to cut away the excess tape now so I can get a nice finish. Okay. Because we want to finish on either side of that tape with the final coat. I have marked out where the bridge is going, so I know where the bridge is going. I know Tom loves my freehand work. Tom, am I right? I want to clean this gum up, and there's you can see the oil's building up. I need to sand that flush and get that oiled over, but that's where the bridge is going. You can see those lines we have to remove now. Scalpel. The scalpel's fine. Good. I've got hands like a surgeon, Terry. What have I got? Hands like a surgeon. Holy crap. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Now, got to get the 400 onto here with our sander. We're going to hit this guy one more time, and then we're going to give it a good coat. 400 grit, fresh discs. Terry, do we need a fresh disc? Yes, we do. Yesterday, guys and girls, we fitted the tuners onto the telly neck. That's finished now. Rage, do you like that? It's ready to go. Look at those blue dots. Beautiful abalone. That's ready to go. A fresh 400 grit Oreo cookie. No, we're going with the big guys. The lesser grits, as you call them, Terry. The big sander, not the little sander. 400, where are you? Right there. I've got a new bench, not a new bench, but a big piece of wood to extend my work area here, so I won't need this workmate anymore. I'm going to put a nice bench that's movable there to give me a bit more of a solid. I'll try and do that over the holidays if I can. Then again, I probably don't want to do too much work over the holidays if I can. Sand, mask, vacuum, all that stuff. Let's get my mask. Mask. Here it is.